Okay, this is Sam Kennedy. We're back at the VCU Tech Fair for 2011 in the Richmond Salons and Student Commons on the Monroe Park campus at VCU. That's the first time I've done that.
I am very proud of you still.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good.
I am standing here with Jeremy Parker, and we are talking a little bit about Crestron and specifically a new podium setup that they are working on, and they've been getting feedback for this at the fair. So how's that been going for us, and tell us a little bit about this new setup.
It's been going pretty well. The new setup, now first of all, I'm going to pull away for just a second. I'll borrow your mic.
Go right ahead.
All right. This is our new setup for the summer. The podium will actually be set up with a built-in computer. It'll have the small panel and then the interface. The way the panel works, most users will come in, all they'll want to do is play the PC. That's the most common thing. So when they come into the system, all they do is push here to start. I've got a little splash screen that we can change that logo for if we find that that's not what we want to use, but it's straight up. You come in, you hit PC, and then you just send the PC to the projector. Now you may wonder why we don't just send it out to begin with, like you push it once, why do we have to push two buttons? The reason for that is actually it's a green initiative, because sometimes people come in and they just want to be able to have an audio reinforcement. And when you hit PC and you actually have it set up to where it turns on automatically, it makes it more complicated, and what it does, it turns it on, and users would then have to turn it off after the system has been going. It's a little complicated. If you want to use laptop, you just push laptop and send it straight forward. If you hit document camera, you've got all the features that you would need to turn it on, change your focus, zoom in and out, and then source it when you're ready. Lecture capture, when you push the button, will actually pull up an image of what's being captured, and then you just hit record, and then it would start recording. It works great for ad hoc stuff, and this is kind of a theoretical thing based on some new stuff that's hitting the market soon, but it's pretty straightforward. Your lighting controls would have several different scenes available to it if the room is set up to control lighting. But you would have lecture, which takes your lighting down in the classroom side, keeps it bright where students are supposed to have their focus. Projection takes out all the lights at the front, but keeps enough in the back to keep enough light for taking notes. A detail brings down the lights just enough to pull out a little bit more detail if something is kind of a complicated picture, like maybe an x-ray or something like that. But it's also still enough light where people can see what they're doing. If you're going to show like a movie clip, then you can pull this down. The focus would be focused on the screen, but it would keep minimal amount of light, just enough to keep people out so they can get out without falling and suing VCU. We're all about keeping VCU safe. But as you go down the presets, it actually gets dimmer and dimmer down to all off, and then it comes back to all on. So when you're done with the system, all you do is hit exit, and then there's a confirmation system shutdown. Takes the splash page back away, and now it's waiting for the next user. The way that it would work is you would be able to modify the panels so that it would accommodate for any of the features that the end user would like to have. And so as we grow in the future and get new devices we never thought of now, this will be able to grow and do the same thing just by adding an additional button feature that represents that new feature.
And so that's nice because it's touch interface, Android, iOS. There's so many other touch interfaces, so people are getting used to actually putting their hands on things. So that's really nice. Now, how is this podium a little bit different from the other podiums that people might see in the classrooms right now?
One thing that we've done that's a little bit different is we've put an extra 2 inches around the outside to give a lot of space. Now you can see, you could actually, if you brought in a laptop, you'd be able to set it right here. You can push the keyboard out of the way, and you'd have a little bit more space. For the most part, that's the only change. The interface that we used to have was a flip top, and so those were just hard buttons. You were stuck with whatever you had. You would have to buy new buttons in order to make a change. This is all software. This is designed by VCU in-house, and the way it's set up, if enough users complain about something, we can make a global change on something just by making a change in the software and uploading it.
All right. Well, very good. We started out by talking with Crestron, but actually Jeremy works for Media Support Services, which is one of the groups for VCU Technology Services.
That's right.
So we want to make sure you get your props.
We are all in the same family and are excited to be working together and pull out better stuff for VCU.
Checks in the mail. Okay. Final four. All right. Is there anything else you want to tell us before we move on?
One more thing I'm excited about, I'm going to show you on the little guy.
All right.
In the past, when the system has been sitting dormant for a while, you would actually come into the room and you'd actually have to know to touch the touch panel to wake it up so that it would know to do anything. The new guy has a motion sensor on the top, so that when you come into the room, it just sees you there and turns on its own. It's one of the biggest things that we've had to go out into classrooms and tell people how to even turn on the part that turns on the system.
It's like having automatic lights when you walk in the room.
Exactly. It takes that guesswork out of the way, and it actually it invites users into the way the system is set up, and it guides them through the system one by one. We've had some excellent feedback on this.
Okay, great. Well, I like that. That's pretty cool. Anything else you want to tell us about MSS this year? Anything new? Anything going on?
We have a lot going on. We have several projects. We are just continuously updating. We are adding one of the things that we've added to the new system in the summer are HDMI inputs.
Right.
So we have digital inputs available to hopefully be able to help with the analog sunset that may or may not be coming. Who knows how that's going to work out? It's a giant question mark, but we're doing our best to move forward with this, and we're getting new product and stuff set up, and I think it's really going to be an exciting time to try to keep ahead of the flow of things, but VCU is really keeping on the front edge of that wave.
Right. All right. Okay then. Well, thank you, Jeremy.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate it. This is Sam Kennedy. We're at the VCU Technology Fair for 2011.